Good afternoon and welcome to the Office of Early Childhood's webinar, Balancing Fun with Funds. We first will begin with interpretive instructions from Diana Reyes. Diana, passing it to you.
Hello, buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Diana Reyes y voy a dar instrucciones sobre cómo acceder a la traducción para esta presentación. En la parte inferior de la pantalla, haga clic en el globo a la derecha con la palabra interpretación debajo. En la ventana que abre, haga clic en SP o español. Los participantes en el canal de idioma escucharán el audio traducido y también el audio original a un volumen más bajo. Deberá presionar silenciar el audio original para que no escuche ningún eco del inglés debajo del español. Deberá seleccionar esta opción al seleccionar el idioma. Gracias.
Wonderful, and welcome everyone. It is so wonderful to be here with you today. My name is Elena Trueworthy. I'm the Deputy Commissioner of the Connecticut Office of Early Childhood. And I especially want to thank those who come view these webinars and participate in these webinars regularly. We really feel that this is a great opportunity to raise the important issues of behavioral health, right? And to talk about the issues of behavioral health and to really reduce the stigma that some of us might feel around these issues. Today's webinar is Balancing Fun with Funds, Creating Enjoyable Experiences on a Budget. We're going to explore ways to create summer fun for children on a cost-friendly budget. I know for me, summertime, and for many, summertime is a joyous time, right? We say, oh, I can't wait for summer. Kids count down the last days of school and look forward to those warm nights and later bedtimes because the sun doesn't go down so early. And for many of us in the working world, I feel like we look forward to summertime as well. I think in part, maybe trying to keep some of those early childhood memories alive. And on the surface, it seems that summertime should be less stressful, right? We should have more downtime, more time to be with our families, spend long weekends, and go on vacation. And for me, some parts of that is true, right? The weather and the sunshine helps me feel more energized. And honestly, I love driving with my windows down, blaring some wonderful, fun music. So I know that other people do that as well. So if you have a fun summer song that you love to sing in the car all by yourself with your windows down, put it in the chat, and I'd love to see what everybody's listening to. And just like children, we as adults, we do well with routines and structure. Most of us like to know what to expect and when. And with our kids, we have the drop-off times, the pickup times, many times down to a science to the minute. But summertime can make that all change, right? Camp drop-off times and pickup times are different, or maybe you make 5 phone calls to see who can watch, your children during a certain time of the day or days during the week. And for those of us who work with children, right, summertime is a time of transition with children and families in and out of programs. Staff scheduling can change and staff coverage is also different. And this can interrupt our usual day-to-day routines. And, these are some stressful moments that we all have. And finances and money is definitely a big part of that equation. But for me, it's important to always remember, right? It's vitally important to remember that our most precious memories, right, with our children, with the people in our families, with the children and families in our programs, are built on these everyday experiences and quality moments together. And those happen every day. It's now my pleasure to introduce a recorded video message from Commissioner Andrea Barton-Reeves from the Connecticut Department of Social Services. Commissioner Barton-Reeves was appointed commissioner in 2023 and has been an innovative leader with a focus on equity and justice for Connecticut residents. And without further ado, Commissioner Barton-Reeves.
Good morning, everyone. This is Andrea Barton-Reeves, and I am the Commissioner of the Department of Social Services. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you today, but I am really excited and I'm grateful that you gave me the opportunity to share just a few remarks as you enter into your monthly seminar today, where you're talking about having fun with your children during the summer, being conscious of all of the budgets that we live under in each one of our households. So today I hope that you really will learn and really engage in great conversation about all of the ways that you can have a great time with your kids during the summer. My son is older now. He's in his early 20s, but when he was young, I was the one that found every free and available activity you could possibly imagine because we know it's so hard to keep kids busy during the summer. They get bored pretty easily and they always want something to do, and every moment they turn around, it seems like there's a new activity that they want to engage in. But I also wanted to remind you, and I know that all of you know this as terrific parents, that really the most important thing that you can do for them is really just spend time with them. We spend tons of time in the library and reading and free pools and water parks and just all kinds of places that we would go. And sometimes I would go over to a friend's house and we would literally just like fill up a kiddie pool, and all of us big grown women and our children would just get in it and splash around and have a good time. That's fine when your kids are little. When your kids are older, it's a harder thing to do, and you recognize that. But today, you'll have an opportunity to really talk about those stressors in a really honest way and to really get some ideas as to how we can keep our children loved and engaged and having a ton of fun during the summer. It doesn't always feel like it can be done. And sometimes it feels like we want to do more for our kids than maybe we have the resources to do. And we have all been there. We've all been there. But today, I'm hoping that you'll have a great day, a great opportunity to learn all kinds of ways that between free activities and low-cost activities and shared cost activities, or even activities that you can create at home. Because believe me, I've made more than one homemade popsicle. Trust me, I have. Kool-Aid has been my friend on more than one occasion. We've found a way to have fun with our kids and to show them that we love them and to really show them where true value is, and that is with family and love and connection and community. So, I'm sorry again I can't be there. I would love to have spoken with you in person, but I know you're going to have a terrific day and you're in great hands with all of the people that you'll be meeting with today. And here at DSS, we are here to support you and your family so that you can live the life that you desire in the way that you create that brings joy to your family every day. So thank you and have a really, really great day and a wonderful, wonderful seminar.
Great. Much thank you to the commissioner for her real talk and letting us into a little bit of her life as well with some of her memories and experiences. Next, I'm happy to introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Judy Casperson. Judy is a seasoned professional with a multifaceted career spanning lifeline, financial wellness, coaching, professional banking, public speaking, and executive leadership. With a passion for empowering individuals to achieve financial independence, Judy brings a wealth of expertise to her role as a financial wellness partner. Having honed her skills and knowledge through years of experience in the banking industry, Judy understands the intricacies of financial management and wealth building. As a trusted advisor, she has helped countless clients navigate their financial journeys, guiding them towards greater stability and prosperity. In addition to her work as a trusted advisor, public speaker, and executive leader, Judy has demonstrated a commitment to excellence and innovation, leading teams to success. With a lifelong dedication to helping others achieve financial well-being, Judy continues to make a profound impact, guiding individuals towards a future of financial freedom and prosperity. I'm very much looking forward to this keynote and so happy to introduce Ms. Judy.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Deputy Trueworthy, for that introduction. I appreciate you. So welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. It's truly a pleasure to be able to talk about something as wonderful and accessible as free family fun here in Connecticut. As we know, creating lasting memories, as Commissioner Barton spoke about, with our families doesn't have to come with a hefty price tag. In fact, Connecticut offers a wealth of opportunities for families to enjoy time together without spending a dime. But of course, it's not a dime because we know that there are transportation costs getting there and food when you get there. Today, I'll be sharing some of the best free activities and destinations across our beautiful state for families to explore in 2024. So as it has been shared earlier, I have a history in banking and investing. And why is that important? Because I came from a family of 7 children. And when you have 7 children, you know, it could be 2 things. It can be you already have a party there, or you have to find things for 7 different people to do at different ages. So the most important thing about when you're thinking about this summer is, what is your budget? And I do a seminar called How Much Does It Cost to Be You? Because that's really what a budget is. So the first thing to think about is how much money, disposable income, how much am I allotting for a week or for a certain event, and start thinking about what you can afford for things that are bigger items. One of the other things is when you figure that out, that alleviates some of your stress because you know ahead of time what to set the expectations for of the kids in your family. What can we actually do? What can we afford? And then you set a plan to do sort of the bigger things that you're looking forward to from that perspective. But I would also like to share some things that you can create and do from home. So I know that many people also will be working from home or on limited schedules. So how can you be creative at home? And how can you challenge your family to be created and connected with you? Because, you know, I don't know about you, but we are, you know, we'd love to be the activity, you know, leader at camp, but life happens as well. So one of my children's favorite memories is when we made pasta at home and they got to eat what they made. So if children are older, you can challenge them to create a menu or to prepare it individually or as a family. This could be fun to enrich knowledge of cultural foods and of, you know, geography. And if I can share, let me see if I can share my screen here. There we go. Maybe you all can see that. I don't know if we can see that. Oh, there it is. Thank you. So when we are looking at, thank you. You're getting different. Okay, let's go to number 2. So, you know, thinking about where we are. So my number 2 is create. There we go. Introduction to free family fun. So we're talking about pasta making, looking at the cultural exploration of food, and also thinking about, could you look at geography? Like, can you find a place on the map that would enable you to go and pick a destination, explore what's their favorite food, and then cook that from home? So, or where, you know, why do we have hot dogs? Why did that become a popular food for us around the 4th of July? So when you think about those things, you can do it on a weekly basis. So everybody sort of does some research and does a little bit of work. And this is a little bit more for older children, and I will talk about younger children as well, but this is something that everybody can get involved with. But thinking about, where did pozole come from? Why do people eat, you know, pierogies? It's all of those things. So each week you could take turns finding that place and then creating a menu. And thinking of how you might be able to also do a scavenger hunt. And that is something that you can do inside or out, and you gauge that towards the learning level of your child. And so this could be a rainy day activity or an outside activity, and you can also engage doing this at parks with friends. This could be something, inviting the neighborhood friends over and then make it into a party after. This could also extend to having everyone think of a talent that they could perform and having a talent show. This could be something that, again, you do on a weekly basis, or maybe that's the one thing that you do once a month or once every other week. You could have themed talent shows. So 1 week singing, 1 week dancing, 1 week telling a story or presenting a piece of art that they've created, and maybe even a magic show. They could also think about, what kind of musical instrument can you make from around the house? And this, I know that it sounds a little bit of a challenge because we have children who are so connected to technology, but being able to think about how they might be able to get unplugged from that for certain sections of the day in order to do these things. But then we go back to a physical fitness challenge, and I utilize YouTube quite often for many free workouts. Could you do something with, either Zumba, a download in your house, or do it outside with your family, taking an hour to do it together? Also going to the dollar store throughout the year to add supplies to your craft closet, so that then you have, maybe some paint and some, construction paper and pens. Because when you have toddlers, one of the great things to do for them would be able to have them cut out pieces of paper, put it on the floor, and say, find the green one, find the yellow one, find the orange one. And then as they get older, you have them find it and then say what, spell it. And then and then they get older and you're racing, you're creating a game to race to get there. So many of these things can be developed and changed towards the age of your child. One of the sensory things that you can do, especially for younger children, is have a mystery box where, they stick their hand through and they're feeling spaghetti or marshmallows or something fun like that. There are many things that you can do with that for every age. For older, it might be squishy Jell-O, and they have to guess what it is. So yes, it takes a little time and energy on your part, but it could be store-bought Jell-O. It doesn't have to be something that's so labor intensive for you. With clean hands, you can still eat it after. 5-second rule to a degree. So then one of the things that I also did was, when they were at home, I would still have learning projects. So maybe even have a workbook that they could do if they had some opportunity for math or learning. It just helped to keep the wheels turning. So say they'd have 30 minutes in the morning where they do a workbook and do a couple of pages, or do a puzzle, or the different kinds of brain games that you can do. And that helped them to unplug from technology, but also keep up some of their, whether it was math or strategic thinking skills, in order to keep the learning process going. I felt that it was easier for them when they transitioned back into school, having a little bit, 30 minutes a day of that, or even just of reading. And then of course we do have, we had many days when we would have movie days and just play. Back then it was Rock Band. Checking out local parks and splash pads on hot days. There are plenty around. And one of the fun things to do is to go to explore new parks. So look in your area, where are all the parks? And so that's free entertainment, and every park has something different to offer. And I've been finding that there are some, parks that have really interesting areas. So exploring, beaches and parks, exploring the local playgrounds, visiting them, make slime or Play-Doh or purchase it, and either do that inside or outside. You can add for sensory for young children, their glitter and sparklers. And I think that pipe cleaners are really a great tool to have. You can use them for many different things at many different ages. And that's also helpful. So when we think about the bigger things, what does Connecticut have to offer? You're going to get a list, but I'm going to go through a few so that you have that easily here. Like Sleeping Giant National Park, that's in Hamden. So it's resembling a giant. It has biking trails, hiking trails. And then there's the Devil's Hop Yard State Park, the Connecticut Audubon Society centers, many historical sites and museums. So think about what interests you and your family, and then also think about, where are they doing the free admission? And it's the second Saturday of the month, of every month, for the Wadsworth Museum downtown. There's the New England Air Museum. A lot of fun for little kids. I've been there. I've been to many of these places, and it's fun for all ages. There's something that you can explore or even have, a little bit of a treasure hunt there. The Harriet Beecher Stowe Center, many of the beaches, waterfronts, and like I said, look to see if there's something, smaller beaches closer to you in a lake so that you don't have to make the trek to the ocean. Hammonasset Beach State Park is also a beautiful location, and it's free. Rocky Neck State Park, that's near East Lyme. And then look on your community calendar, whether it's in your town or neighboring towns, because as the 4th of July is coming up, I'm sure that many of you have traditional places that you go, but if you love fireworks, maybe you can go a few days in a row to different places, and that's free. So looking on your local town page, or like I said, the local pages and sometimes the local paper, but everything is pretty much online these days. There's Sail Fest in New London. So starting to think about community events and festivals. There's usually something every weekend. And I was also, I don't know if didn't showcase it here, but there is the Renaissance Fair up in Burlington area. And so that's something that goes on weekends through, I believe, the end of July. But that's something to check out if you want to have kids and that's an expense, right? To go to a jousting match and see what it was like to live back then. There's Connecticut River Balloon Festival. So you could go and see all the balloons, the hot air balloons, and then the libraries and community centers. So it's not just about reading books there, right? They have sometimes different talks, different activities that you can do. And so that's a really great place to go and get cool on a hot day. For younger children, there are story times and reading programs. And again, that's one of those things that keeps your children's minds engaged for reading. It's like, do you challenge them to, either if they don't have a book list from school, find a couple of things that you love and maybe something that you've read before when you were a child, and you can talk about it. Maybe at their bedtime, help really engaging with them and being able to have something that just the two of you might be sharing. In a family of 7 kids, that was important to me. So my mother cooked, so I love to cook, as I'm sure you heard earlier. And there are many seasonal activities. So not just thinking about this for summer, but how can you take that into the fall? Is there a fall foliage tour, or the Winterfest in Hartford, which is so amazing to be able to ice skate and do the merry-go-round and all of those things for free is amazing. The concerts in the park, one of my absolute favorite things, but they're not only in parks, they are also in city centers, in many green spaces. So look throughout. You could be doing Hartford Jazz on Mondays. I know we have many towns have in West Hartford, I believe in Wethersfield, on Wednesdays they have concerts. So look to see where you can do that. And it's an easy picnic dinner, sandwiches, and then you're dancing, the kids are playing, and you're all having an amazing time. So when you think about all of those things, yes, it still does cost something. I know that. You have thinking about the gas to get there, the food that you have to, there's some prep, but there are so many activities that are enriching, will bring you together, and help make some amazing memories for you and your children this summer. So in conclusion, thinking about all the amazing things that they do offer, not only now, but throughout the year, and the natural beauty. I did not mention some of the different classes that they do have in the parks, like there's yoga in the park, or taekwondo in the park, different things like that. So looked forward to connecting with nature, connecting with all that Connecticut has to offer, and let's take advantage of these wonderful opportunities and create some unforgettable memories. But like I said, if you think about the budgeting up front, that's going to take some stress off of you and help enable you to be present in that moment and just really embracing, what you can do and not feeling guilty about what you can't do. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have some time with you, and I hope that you all have an amazing day.
Thank you so much, Judy. That was wonderful ideas. I think we're going to be sharing some videos now. So introduce those videos. The videos I'm going to share expand upon many of the ideas you just heard about, but focus a little more on the why. Why are we, focusing on development and engaging activities? Part of it's the fun and excitement and engagement that was mentioned, but it's also about promoting that learning and development. OEC has been working to convey some key messages about child development and the important role that early childhood providers and families play in supporting that young children to grow and thrive. Our partners at O'Donnell Company help us plan and hone those communications and take some of the ideas and make them really come alive in beautiful and engaging ways. And one such effort was the Little Wonders campaign, which resulted in some videos that were aired on CPTV, the signs, magnets, posters, so they may look familiar to you. You may have seen them around. The Little Wonders campaign focused on the importance of the first 5 years of a child's life. And the experiences and relationships that a child has during those first 5 years of their life really set the stage for the future. Their brains are developing quickly during this time, building neural connections that spark language, learning, social interactions. The good news is that those experiences that promote that brain development don't always have to be big and flashy or complicated or expensive. Whether you're finding the free opportunities we heard about, or planning some of the fun at-home activities that our keynote speaker mentioned. You're building brain connections through those interactions and language. And we know that your own child's unique needs will impact those activities you choose. For some children, activities that involve noise or crowds may feel overwhelming, so you may focus more on those at-home activities and things you can do as part of your routine. Everyday routines such as bedtime and bath time are great learning opportunities, and you can find little ways, such as our keynote speaker mentioned, to make those special and different and vary things a bit for all of you. A walk down the block, a trip to the library or the grocery store, a visit to a relative, those are all opportunities to build language, make connections, and form relationships. Play, one of the main ways that children learn, can take place in almost any setting. By using your imagination, building on children's interest, talking and playing with them in an attentive and focused way, you're going to help build those brains. So we're happy to share 2 of the Little Wonders videos to get you excited about your role with young children and all the fun ways you can support their growth and development.
The first 5 years of life are critically important to growing the brain. This brief period builds the foundation that will support future learning. Think of how important a foundation is when building a home. It's the same for our brains. Every positive interaction children have creates that foundation, so it can support a lifetime of learning, loving, and living. The stronger it is from the start, the more opportunity we have at every stage of our future. When this is not strengthened, it has a long-term impact. Every word you speak, idea you create, and relationship you have rely on the groundwork laid in early childhood. Let's make sure all children start with a strong foundation. These early years are truly a time of wonder for our little wonders. There are many ways to help children learn, but the best way is through play. When you play with kids, you help their brains grow. By pretending to be a butterfly, children feel joy and wonder. They also learn to take different perspectives than their own. When they play with other kids, they learn how to share and compromise. When they make up a game with rules, they learn to plan and work together. When they build towers, they learn math, science, and problem solving. Show your child different ways to play, both indoors and outdoors. Get silly, enjoy the fun of being a kid. Make up a game all your own. However you play, let your child take the lead sometimes. After all, they are the play experts. Through play, kids discover their interests, gain confidence, and connect with you, all while building brain connections. Our little wonders can learn so much as they play.
Our little wonders can learn so much as they play. Thank you so very much, Michelle, for introducing that video, reminding us of the importance of play. But also thank you so very much to our wonderful keynote speaker, Judy Casperson. Thank you for sharing with us the wonderful resources available and how they can be put to use in many different ways. And we want to continue in this conversation about resources, about how to support our children, our young people in play in various capacities. And we are so fortunate to have a wonderful team that is going to be a part of our panel discussion. And so with that, I'm honored to introduce our first panelist, Lena Osher-Williams, who is Assistant Director of Youth and Family Services at the Hartford Public Library. I'm going to ask Lena if you could please say hello so the camera can feature you for a brief moment. We see you, but didn't hear you. If you could just come off, there you go.
Sorry. Hello, everyone.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Lena. Glad to have you here. And next we have Cheryl Miller, who is Associate Fiscal Administrator Officer at the Office of Early Childhood. Cheryl, may you please say hello?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm not sure if you can see me or not. Can you guys see?
Not yet, but we hear your lovely voice.
Oh.
And so we'll go with the flow and hopefully at some point we'll be able to see the beautiful voice that matches the face. All right, there we go.
There we go.
Wonderful.
How are you all? I'm Cheryl Miller and I've been with OEC for 2 years working in the fiscal division.
All right, thank you so much, Cheryl. And next we have Liliana Lobo, who is owner, director, and a teacher at Smartly Fun, LLC. Liliana,
yes.
Say hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. And we certainly have last but not least, Liz Peroetti, who is Director of Licensing Division at the Office of Early Childhood. Liz, may you please say hello?
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be with you today.
Wonderful. So nice to have you with us. And so let us begin with our first question for all of our panelists. Recognizing your professional roles and having a connection to children in some way, each of you bring a unique and valuable perspective to this discussion. Please tell us a little about yourself and what path led you to become. Let's start with our Director of Public Library. So Lena, passing it to you first, please.
All right, thank you, Lorna. So for me, actually, my journey to Hartford Public Library or becoming a librarian started in 2005 when I joined the library. Initially, I was working at, well, I had early childhood background education. I was working at CRT, Local Street, as a preschool teacher. I worked there for almost 5 years, and then I decided to just make a switch. And I came to the library in 2005. I was, hired as a youth and family services librarian, worked with parents and children. I am deeply passionate about working with young children, and I really enjoy working with families. So, and then after 2 years, I got hired as the manager for the children's library downtown and worked there for 17 years. And now the assistant director. I work with a team of 17 youth services professional. It's the best job in the world. And possibly because I'm still working with children, still working with families. It's an honor and privilege to see over time when lives are being changed, especially young children. And we have a fantastic crew here. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my passion with you all.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing, and we can certainly sense and feel your passion, and we are fortunate to have you. Thank you. Liz, passing it to you, please.
Sure. Thanks, Lorna. So as Lorna said, I'm Liz Porietti. I'm currently the director of the licensing division with the Office of Early Childhood. And what led me to this role has been somewhat of a long journey. I started out in the childcare field in the year 2000 when I opened my own family childcare home. I did that for about 13 years before coming to the OEC. And when I joined the OEC, I sort of changed my hat and went from a childcare provider to a childcare regulator. I inspected both family childcare homes as well as childcare centers. And moved into a supervisory role, and just about a year and a half ago, I stepped into this role. So I can certainly appreciate the struggles that providers have in ensuring that children have, like we talked about earlier in the presentation, the children have fun things to do during the summer. And we at the OEC support providers wholeheartedly in making sure that everyone provides a fun and safe summer for all their children.
And we're so thankful for all that you do in support of that, Liz. Thank you. Liliana, please share your thoughts.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate. I feel really grateful for enjoying this team. Today, I want to share wonderful ideas, and we're talking about the stressful we feel when we look in activities for the child, and we will have a short budget. So we say, oh, wow, how we can figure it out for our child. So I want to share the screen. Right now, let me know if you see the screen.
Yes, we do.
Screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me just 1 second. So sorry.
That's all right. In action, Liliana, if I may say.
Is an action? Is an action right now?
We do, but we are so eager to see what you want to share. We're going to get to that point in just a moment. We don't want to spoil any surprises just yet. And so if possible, we want to pull that down because we're going to come back to that. Excellent. Thank you. And this is why we're so glad you are part of this team, because you already have the resources ready to share with us. So thank you, Liliana, for that. And recognizing that you're the owner of your child care. Yes. Can you share with us,
Yes.
what is that like for you?
Yeah, it's different, challenge when we are a teacher and owner, because with both, when it's a teacher, you looking at different ideas, but when you are a director, you have responsibility for the budget. So that's why we're looking at different resources, library, different Googles, books, different resources every day for different activities. Actually, in summer is more because everyone want to play outside and have fun.
Absolutely. Thank you, Liliana. And we're going to continue in the way that you were just sharing. So thank you so much. And go into our next question for all of our panelists. A common thread you each have shared is having experience either with what you do professionally or personally working with children. What are your thoughts on the costs associated with entertaining children during the summer? And do you think it can be expensive at times? So Liliana, we'll start with you, please, because you already made reference to, it could be costly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can I share the screen right now?
Certainly.
Sure. All right. So definitely, when we talking the budget, when we're talking about the activities, outdoor activities, of course, we feel stressful, but we look into the what we have in each programs. Definitely, we have outdoor activities. We have maybe sometimes we have a space for a small space outdoor for playing. Sometimes another provider have a big space, but definitely everyone have small rocks upsize. Definitely we have a small stick, wood stick upsize. So today I want to share these are wonderful activities work for us. Everyone have a fun spent outdoor. The river that flow besides me. For this activity, we recollect small rocks, a small stick. I know everyone have outdoor. Connecticut is everything is green, so we have a lot. And this is two different materials we need too. For the aluminum foils, I know everyone have at home, everyone have the kitchen. It's not expensive. For this is maybe $1, so $2. And of course, everyone have in the classroom toys, animal toys. So for that activity, when I'm looking for 3 different challenges. So the first one is, okay, summer is here. The children can spend time outside. The weather is hot. So, okay, what now? So in a morning meeting, I read and I found in the library this book, The River That Flow Beside Me. And I say, when I read the book, everybody's so excited and say, I want to say some kids know about the river, some kids know nothing about this. So I see, maybe if I have the paper aluminum in the kitchen, I have this book who inspired us. So yes, of course, we can do it and play outside. So the second challenge is how we can make this activity, but we say, okay, I got the low budget, we can do it, but how we can make a quality for this activity. So I put a quality because when I teach and we make this activity, everybody have fun and everybody get the new vocabularies, river, flow, floating, singing, habitat for the animals. We're talking about the different animals, how the animal feedings. Actually, we play something with math, how many animals you have. If you get more fancy river, maybe you can do it some boats, paper boats, or something floating. They definitely enjoy. This activity is very cool for younger and older children. And really for us was really, really fun. Everybody so excited. Yeah, I think this is definitely very, very good. Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity. I hope everyone enjoy and practice this in your programs, because definitely this was inspiration for me, for my program. And we can do fun activities, of course, with a short budget. And yeah, and do it, definitely.
Absolutely. Liliana, thank you so very much. Boy, I was mesmerized at how you recreated the image from the book in your, excuse me, in your own yard. And that's wonderful for children to see the creative ways of re-experiencing what is read. So thank you so much, Liliana. Other teammates, what are your thoughts when you think about the costs to entertain children? And times the cost can be high. What is your reaction to that? What are your thoughts of how to address how costly it may be? And Cheryl, may I pass it to you, please?
Sure, I'd love to start off. Well, I know that for me, I raised my children like 30 years ago. So there were different types of activities. And I was blessed to have a mother-in-law who was a licensed daycare provider. So she kind of provided all of the activities in the summer, things that they would do while we were working. But as they grew older, I did have to be creative because they would go to after school was over. It's like, okay, what are you going to do for the summer? You have to keep them active and get them in activities. So sometimes the camps I would send them to summer camp that would last 2 weeks. You had to budget to make, like they mentioned earlier, budgeting is very important. Knowing the summer's coming, you're going to want to, put them into a program, and you may want to travel as well. I know right now that there are like subsidized programs that can help parents who maybe not able to afford those services. But I think you have to be creative. Sometimes you have the towns that offer free programs. I used to send the kids to like vacation Bible school for 1 week. That'd be another week down where they had activities that were productive. So you do have to be creative, and this expenses can be incurred, and especially if you want to like take them on an adventure or vacation. So definitely budget, and budget, plan ahead.
Budget, 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 and plan ahead.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cheryl. So,
Mhm.
with the same tone of the realities of costs associated with entertaining children, Liz, what are your thoughts?
Thanks. Yeah, I think summer is obviously a really special time with children out of school for several weeks. But it can also be a really stressful time for both parents and caregivers, like Cheryl said. And I think everyone strives to provide a fun and enriching experience for children. We know that childcare costs are expensive, and so to add to those costs by providing activities that cost, an additional amount can be burdensome to both parents and caregivers. So I think anytime we can provide activities at a low or no cost to families is a win for everyone. And I think we heard many ideas offered by Judy Casperson when she gave her overview of some of the free things that are offered in communities. They're really great ideas. I know that when I was a child care provider caring for not only my own children, but also the children of many other families over the years, we took advantage of things in the neighborhood, things in the local community, recognizing that you're one person and you can only provide so much to just a few people when you're trying to do something outside of your immediate home. But you just need to be creative, and I think kids don't need expensive activities or expensive products to have fun, enriching experiences.
Thank you, Liz. Well put. Kids don't being creative and fun experiences is what can help children. And that's a great segue to hear from Lena. So thank you, Liz, for your response. And Lena, please share your thoughts.
Thank you, Lana. So I agree with everything everyone has said. I mean, when you think of childcare costs, if both parents are working, um, it increases all the time. I mean, there are also parents who worry about even feeding their children during the summer months. When the school doors are closed, they don't get those free meals. And how do you feed your child during these months? That's another addition to the stress. Traveling costs are also going up. But what I want to say is all is not lost. We've heard about so many other creative ways to, just create a budget-friendly ways to entertain your children throughout the summer. But one big thing, and which is what I leave right now professionally, is the library. It's since the early 19th centuries, libraries all over the US have been creating summer learning program for families. And that's one of the things that should always be upfront. So parents, families understand that, daycare providers, whoever is working with children, libraries, we spend we put so much time and amount and funding into summer learning. I always say the summer months is when we come alive. When the school does close, the libraries, everybody comes into the library. There's so much programming going on. And over the past 4 years, we're doing some partnership, but we're planning basically on our own. But now we're doing a community-wide planning. We're working with HBS, public schools. We're working with other community partners. And for this summer, we have, and this planning took over 5 to 6 months. We came up with a community summer reading based on history, and it's called Reading Through Time. We want families to register and children to read throughout the summer months. And we all know what happens when children go back to school. If they're not reading, they're not learning, they're falling back. And we don't want that. Our librarians have collated books according to different age groups for children, for families to come in, ask for a reading list. We designed that along with the school system. Kids are not only reading, they're not only learning, they're not only doing different activities in the library, but they're also winning prizes, really cool prizes. This is the place you want to come in where kids can have fun. And we also have big prizes. Like I said, community partners have really partnered with us, and there's what we call lunch with our CEO. A lot of kids don't even know who our CEO is. We are creating lunch for 8 winners who will come and their families to sit with our CEO, Bridget Perry, and just chat and ask what a typical day of a CEO in the library is. Lunch with the mayor is another prize. Lunch with the superintendent, that's another prize. Partners like the Yard Goods, they have donated tons of different prizes for children to win, Kindles and things like that. So that's one of our main programs in the summer, but we have other different programs, which I will share further down below. But I just want to say the library is a place to go. We are doing story times in the park. Yesterday, I did story times in the park with families, about 60 to 70 families. We did Bible play in the library. It didn't cost me, it cost the library something, but it didn't cost our parents anything. They received free books that they can read with their children, free books to build their own libraries and listen to stories. And we're partnering also with the Bushnell Park to have free parasol rides after these story times in the park. The next one that's coming up is in July 24th. So I hope to see more of you there. Join me at the Bushnell Park to do story time in the park. It's really a fun time. More to come. There's so much that we're doing in the library that people don't know, but all free. All of our services are free. Our resources are free.
And boy, we are so glad you are here to give us some insight into what is there. That is wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lena. Thank you all for what you've shared. And with everything that you all have talked about in terms of, yes, there are expenses when it comes to entertaining our children, but it's about how you apply those expenses. The next question is, how would you describe the difference between spending quality time versus quantity of time with children? And you all have already talked about it, but we're specifically asking this question: what is the difference between quality of time and quantity of time, or quantity of what you put into spending for that time? And if we may begin with Liz, please.
Sure. Thanks, Lorna. I think what the difference is between spending quality time versus quantity time has to do with just being present with a child. It not only it's important to support their needs, that you're not only present physically, but you're present with them and engaging them. So for example, like having a supply of books from your library is great, and having the opportunity for children to look through these books is great, but sitting with the child, holding the child, reading with the child, letting the child explore the book, with you, talk to you, have a conversation through the book, I think is more of a quality time spent than just providing, here, let me watch you read the books. I think it really helps to build a bond, establishes trust, and a really good connection between a caregiver, parent, and a child.
Absolutely. Thank you, Liz. Be present and engaging in the moment. Yes, well said. Cheryl, please share your thoughts.
Thank you, Lorna. And like Liz said, I think that one of the biggest things is consistency when you talk about quantity, because children need to know that, you're there, you're present, that they're safe. You need to, just by you being there, they'll know that you'll always be there for them by, like I said, being consistent with things in their life, like their psychological well-being, paying attention to the things that build their confidence and their security. And I think that the actual quality things are the things that you teach them, like, spending family time together, providing structure, family activities, teaching values and values of life personally and spiritually. I think that creating memories, those are the quality things that you can do. And I think those are the differences, is consistency, and then the quality is the action of giving them with the consistency, the quality of, that's what brings them together and makes them both important.
Well said. Well said. And I like that how you've defined the quantity is really the consistency of what is being done. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Liliana, and you've done a wonderful job explaining to us quality and quantity, but want to give you an opportunity as well, please, to share your thoughts.
Thank you, Lorna. Yeah, definitely. We're thinking about in two different areas. So the first one is quantity. So quantity is how we can get expensive the activities. So I think right now we have a lot resources, Google's, social media. So, we need choose the fun activities. That's why we can choose the quality. Quality is teaching values when they long lasting, when we create the fun activities. So two different areas, quality, so definitely is the best. We're taking, when we engage in a different, when I remember all life, when I remember summer, so that is why you need thinking these activities, quality. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Liliana. Absolutely quality. And I like how you made reference to quality also means teaching values. That is so important. These early years, we certainly want to instill those values. Thank you, Liliana. Lena, please share your thoughts.
Yeah, I think quantity definitely has to be with numbers. X number of times you're there with your kids. Are you being present though? Sometimes we're right there, the child is playing, you are doing your own thing, maybe you're watching your own movie on TV, but quality time is that experience that you provide where you are focused, you are being intentional, you are building bridges for your children. Asking, if you're reading a book and asking those critical questions, that's going to develop language skills for your child. Adding the vocabulary, cooking together. Many times not parents, but many times our children are in one room and if we're cooking, we're in another room and we're not connecting. When there's always opportunity for learning when we grooming young children in our lives. Free cooking, that is a valid opportunity wherein the child can learn so many important experiences. Cooking together, let the child sort whatever, ask questions, washing dishes. Those are all experiences that children will never forget when they grow older, because they had those experiences with their family. If you're bringing your child to the library, you're not just sitting on one of the sofas and the child is just playing in the play. Be present with the child in the play area, you know, eating the fruits, pretending to eating the fruits, asking questions. If you are the customer, maybe the child is the seller, whatever. But just having ongoing communication, talking is so important when we're raising young children, because that's how they build that. I know how important talking was when I came into this country originally. And I remember the daycare provider who told me, because my child at 3 was not speaking well, and the daycare provider said, just continue to talk and ask questions. And that's what basically I did. And within 6 months, my child started speaking fluently. So it's important to have those meaningful experiences with young children. And that is the quality as opposed to the quantity of times that you're there.
Absolutely, Lena. Oh my, I so want to probe and ask more, but what you've shared is so meaningful, and especially about being present in the moment and the importance of conversation, talking with children, talking with, not at, but with. Thank you so much, Lena, and thank all of you for your thoughts in that with that question. So now I want to continue in this way, but want to go to another real talk kind of piece area. So research has shown that there is an association between financial worries and increased stress. That's the reality. Research shows that the more financial stress people experience, the more that's going to impact them psychologically and their well-being. And our goal is to promote mental health and wellness in all ways, including financial stability. And that is one of the reasons why we are here today. And we thank all of you for being present. Again, with our goal of wanting to minimize the stress that parents, providers, caregivers experience, what are some examples of fun, enriching, low-cost experiences or activities you can share? Now, all of you have done a wonderful job already so far, giving some examples here, giving some examples there. But want to give you an opportunity where the focus is on you to share different resources or activities that you think will help children experience fun times, but will also take away some of the stress that parents or caregivers or providers may experience. And if we first may start with Liliana.
Yes, thank you, Lorna. Right now, you made me remember we have a project, open project in the classroom. And I think that's easy and basic project, because this project is paper, scissor, and that's it. So when we was a little child, so everybody played. Of course, the first thing is play with paper, right? But right now, how we teach? So we teach about the roles, how we can make tunnels, actually constructions with paper, 3D, actuality challenge, really. So, but it really is basic. We just use paper constructions, paper of color, have fun with the children, and scissor, and they leave the imaginations. Actually, and this is a project for us in the classroom this week, and yesterday's. I have a children 3 years old, and she say, "This is my create. I create a Mickey Mouse playground." Another say, "I create washing car." Everybody have a lot of imagination. And then really, we just use paper, scissor, glue, and that's it.
That's it, but how big and huge is that? Wonderful. Thank you, Liliana. Lena, please share your thoughts and suggestions.
So I would just like to share some of the resources and services that we have here. One of, and I know this is the time when really a lot of our families take advantage of the museum and attraction passes that we have at the library. We have free passes to like museums like the American Clock and Watch Museum, the Castle Museum, and the Fire History, Connecticut River Museum. There's tons and tons of museums that the library partner with, and some are discounted, but others are free. So usually with your library card, it doesn't cost anything to get a library card, free of charge. You just have to have, your state ID, have your ID, present that to one in any of our branches, and you'll get a library card created. That's one of the things that you could get, but there's also each summer we have special presenters or performers that we hire because it's not all the time the librarians doing programs, but we have special guests that coming in do special programs. Right now in all of our libraries, if you visit them or if you get to see our summer calendar,
Andrew,
there
Henry.
is programs for young children called Little Leaps Ocean Journey. This is a dance program for children 5 and under. We also have programs for children 6 to 12. It's called Bring the Hoopla, all about hula hoop, learning how to maneuver the hula hoop and just sway your body. Just be creative in your dance, and children love to dance. You never go wrong with music. That's one of the experiences that we see here at the library. There's also yoga. We have family yoga going on. We have double Dutch going on in most of our library site. There's also hip hop dancing. There's so many these things. If you want to experience some of these, they cost some money, but they're free of charge at the library. We're also, since our theme for summer is reading through time, we are exploring history throughout this summer. So we've partnered with Connecticut Museum of Culture and History, and they're doing programs called Colonial Kids. Children get to learn how children in Connecticut in the olden days used to live. How was it like for children during the 18th century and things like that? We're doing henna. A lot of people don't know what henna is, but it's just like a temporary tattoo. And this is typically an ancient Indian art, and that could be created on usually the palm of your hands or sometimes even the back of your hands. There's also, we're doing a variety of history tours throughout Hartford just to get to families to learn about the history of Hartford. And we've partnered with a local historian. Her name is Wendy Pollack, who is going to take families from all across Hartford to just take a walk across the city and learn about the history of Hartford. Arts for Learning, we have a variety of cultural programming, music, giving families experiences, learning about music across the Americas, learning about cultural instruments, and there's so many tons of experiences at the library. Please just spread the word around, encourage families to go to their local libraries and ask what's available for summer, especially this summer. And our librarians there, library staff will definitely walk them through. Thank you.
Thank you. And we certainly will ask those questions. And I have to say, you had me as soon as you mentioned the benefits of music. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so with that, Liz, please share your thoughts.
Sure, thanks. Well, I think if anyone doesn't use the resources at the library, you're definitely missing out, regardless of the community that you live in, because we've heard so much from Lena about all the opportunities there are. And I will say from personal experience, when I had my own family childcare home, I definitely took advantage of the library as much as I could, whether it be signing out those free passes to take children to different museums. My library also had all sorts of different themed packaged books with almost like lesson plans built into them. So just to help you be creative and keep kids engaged. A couple other things that I used to use, both with my own children as well as daycare children, was I had in the summer a fun jar. So I would write down fun things, we'd crinkle the paper up, and every day someone would get to pick out an idea from the fun jar. And that was just like a new activity that we had never done. It didn't have to cost anything. It could be, we were going on a picnic that day. We were going to play in the sprinkler that day. It was going to be sidewalk chalk, just something different. And just to keep them excited about what's coming next. So again, not expensive things by any means, just things to keep them engaged and wanting for more.
How meaningful, Liz. Thank you so much. Not expensive based on dollar amount, but think of the great expense of the experiences and memories created. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thoughts. Cheryl, may you please share your thoughts?
Sure. Thank you, Lorna. I'd like to thank Lena. Oh my goodness, I took advantage of the library, of course, just like I'm sure all of you did with your children, but I never knew that there were so many other programs. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter, so now I can share with with my son, or I can spend time with her doing some of those activities as well. And also to add to what I believe Ileana said about back in the day. Remember when we were younger, we used to press, like in the fall, we would press leaves I guess they would like iron it together, and we would come home, and that was a great activity. Free. We would bring in leaves, we would bring in pine cones and paint them. And I don't even think that they do those things anymore, but those are things that are, nice activities, keep the kids engaged and give them something fun to do. I know that I used to actually rollerblade with my children. They had skates. I would skate with them. Activities, if you're able to do physical activities with the kids, that's also great. Play dates are awesome still. You can't quite do sleepovers like you used to in these times, but there's a variety of things like the town. Each town has some type of carnival or some type of I forget what you call them. Fair. You can take them out and they get to see people, to experience different things. And they do have activities for the younger kids, and they have games and things that they can play, meet people. So there are a majority of ways that you can keep it inexpensive and keep the children busy, active, and engaged.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cheryl. And I have to say, I'm impressed to know that you were on those rollerblades. All right now. All right now. So thank you all. So impressed with all that you've shared. And so thinking and reflecting on what you have shared, we're going to ask another question. So we know that when it comes to children, there are some children who fantasize about growing up, and they wish they could hit that fast forward button to become an adult like now. They want to be an adult like now. Knowing what each of you knows now, what words of advice would you give your younger self about the importance of playing and enjoying being a child? Again, knowing what you know now, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what words of advice would you tell yourself about enjoy these years and have fun and play? And let us begin with Cheryl, please.
I was excited when you were talking because it just reminded me of how crazy I was as a teenager and just couldn't wait to be an adult. And every time I got mad at my parents, I would slam the door and go, I can't wait to move out. Well, guess what? I became an adult. I moved out. And if I could take this young me, be Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, click my heels 3 times and say there's no place like home, I'd do it because it's not all it's cracked up to be. And so while I was raising my kids, because I couldn't turn back the hands of time, I would always remind them when I saw them moving too fast or trying to move too fast. Be a child, enjoy your childhood, because this is not what you think it is. It's not what it looks like. It's not cracked up to be all, what you think it is. So enjoy your childhood, stay there, enjoy each stage, because once you become an adult, you can never go back. And that's what I tell myself. It's funny because I can't, and I laugh when I see them. And actually my son came to me, he's like, oh, now I know what you meant. So like it came full circle. So that's why I started to laugh when you asked the question, because it's so personal and it's like it was part of me raising my kids, a part of my daily life, and it was a lesson learned that can't go back. But if I could, I would do some things differently. I would slow down, enjoy my childhood, and not always slam the door wishing I could, be an adult.
I think many of us are smiling and nodding right along there with
Yes.
you. Yes, thank you, Cheryl.
Welcome.
Liliana, please share your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely agree with Cheryl's. Be the moment. So be the moment because the moment left and the time passed so fast. And when you're looking behind, oh my God, you adult and so enjoy each moment with your child, each moment when you're talking and this moment with you, this moment when you eat, when you sleep, when you wake up, when you see the sky, when you see the sun, when you see your child, when you play, be present with her. They need us and we need, do it the best in each moment, definitely.
Absolutely. Be present. And I appreciate you recognizing the beauty of what's present, the sun, what's outside. Thank you so much, Liliana. Liz, may you please share your thoughts?
Sure. This question, Lorna, made me think about just looking out the back and seeing my neighbor's children playing and laughing, and they're 3, 4 years old, and just recognizing like how special that is, and how fleeting it is as well. And just remembering, well, first of all, acknowledging that as adults, it's hard every single day. We heard Lena say that she loves her job, which is amazing. And I think we all love what we do. But we have to find outlets as adults to play as well, to reset. And so I think it's really important to have a hobby, engage in exercise, take vacations, anything that you can do to reset, and feel like a child again, like you're playing. Yeah, I think that's really important in contributing to your mental health and well-being.
Oh, Liz, absolutely. And I'm going to come back to something you said, but yes, well said. Thank you so much. Lena, please share your thoughts.
I think if I am to go back to my childhood, this is what I'll say to myself. Take time to grow and experience the joys of childhood. Play more, look around you, experience the beauty of the world you live in. Explore and discover new things every day. Check out the little creatures under your feet. Smell your world. There's so many different flavors around us. See, look for all of the things that you're blessed with eyes to see. Touch and learn about the different textures and taste our world, because these are all of the things that really help children get to know and appreciate the world that they live in. Discover new sounds all around you. And just don't hurry to grow. Childhood is just a blessing, blessed. Those years of childhood. Probably that's why I love the world, the work that I do right now, because it just takes me back to my, childhood experiences. But yes, that's what I will tell my younger self.
Oh my. And Lena, what you just said, that was like a storybook right there. That was the way that you said it. And as you described it, we could see it, we could feel it, all of the senses. You made reference to thank you so much for reminding us of the beauty that is around us all. Thank you so much. And thank each and every one of you for what you have shared throughout this panel discussion in response to the questions, but in particular in response to this last question. And as we know, when it comes to children, when it comes to their play and development, they learn from us. So it's important for us to give them the resources to help them to grow. And the resources don't have to cost a lot. The resources can be creative. But I just want to highlight once again what Liz shared. When Liz said we have to find outlets so that we can reset ourselves. And that is so very true, because as much as we love children, as much as we love the work that we do, we're only going to be as good to them as we are to ourselves. So make sure to find that time to reset. Make sure to find that time to reset. Thank you so very much to Lena, to Cheryl, to Liliana, to Liz for sharing your words of wisdom with us at this time. Thank you very much. Now going to pass the baton over to Liz so we can get some more words of advice.
Sure. Thanks, Lorna. Well, thank you everyone for participating in the panel. That was a really fun experience, and I hope that all the attendees enjoyed that today. Next, we're going to hear in the next video from the children themselves. So this is a video of children sharing what they like to do for fun, rather than hearing it from the adult perspective of what we think they like to do for fun.
And go to the beach. Be home and play with my family. You could camp in at state parks. Going to the playground. And having a picnic in the backyard. I draw everything that I like, and reading. I like to go to Disneyland and hang out with my mommy and go to the rides. I go fishing. Down to splash pads. I like doing the sleep and fighting, going to the beach in summer. I like to do the summer reading challenge at the local library.
Well, we've heard it. We heard it from the children themselves. We heard them share the different ways that they would like to have fun. And from what you've shared, much of what they shared mirrors or replicates what has been talked about during our time together in this webinar. We do want to share with you just a brief list of some of the things that have been shared thus far from our wonderful opening keynote message from Judy Casperson, and also from our panelists as well in terms of ideas and suggestions. So if we can please just provide that slide that is giving high-level categories of things to do. And we're going to provide a more extensive list that'll be posted on our website for you. But please know, when it comes to summer activities in Connecticut, these here are things that are for free. And want to thank our teammate Bridget for helping to compile this list. History museums, art museums, science and children's museums, splash parks, outdoor activities, entertainment, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more. And these are all free, all free. So speaking of things to do, thinking of fun ways to engage with our young people this summer, we are so very honored now to receive our closing message. And our closing message speaker is going to be coming from Deputy Commissioner Mason Trumbull. We are so thankful for his presence and his flexibility. We know that with respect to all that are part of our team, we appreciate how they're able to contribute in many ways. Deputy Commissioner Mason Trumbull, he's part of DEEPS, the Environmental Conservative Executive Branch, and he oversees the Bureau of Recreation and all that is within it. So Deputy Commissioner Trumbull, we are so honored to have you with us today, and passing the mic over to you.
Lauren, thank you so much for inviting me here. On behalf of Commissioner Dykes, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for allowing the Department of Energy, Environment, and Environmental Protection to share some of the amazing outdoor activities we have available here in Connecticut for families. I was really excited when Commissioner asked me to fill in for her today. And so if I may, I'd love to share a little personal story before I get started. So like all good stories, this one starts with my mom, who, when she was in high school, decided that it was her goal to have 6 kids. And although she didn't find a partner, she wasn't married until about a decade after her high school graduation. She still managed to accomplish that goal. So I'm one of 6, and you can imagine growing up in a large family, buying 6 ice cream cones is more expensive than buying 2 or 3. And then you start to add in other, larger ticket items like amusement parks or, flights or vacations. And there were a lot of things that other families got to do that we just weren't able to do based on the financial cost of doing that with so many kids. So really for us, we spent an immense amount of time outdoors. And I grew up in Maine. And so the outdoor recreation resources were a huge part of my life and my family's life. So, and really that background is what led me to a career in the outdoor industry. So anyways, I think the outdoors has just an incredible, so much to offer for families and kids, and specifically here in Connecticut as well. So I've been blessed to travel and play outside all over the world, from hiking at Rainier on the West Coast to fly fishing through Patagonia. And I can honestly and confidently say that Connecticut, if you like the outdoors, there's no better state in the country to raise a family than Connecticut. The outdoor recreation resources here are more accessible and more family friendly than they are anywhere in the country. And so I can explain that a little bit and explain some of the opportunities that all of you could take advantage of as you are looking at things to do this summer that are easy on the budget and are really fun for your family and for your kids. So I'll start with our Connecticut state parks. We have 142 state parks here in Connecticut, which for a small state is a lot. To put that in perspective, not that I'm trying to hate on our neighboring states here, but Rhode Island has about 15 to 20. I think New Jersey has right around 30. So compared to some of our neighboring states, we have a lot of resources to enjoy here in Connecticut. And what that means is those resources are near where you live and where you work. So instead of having to, everyone thinks of like Colorado as being an outdoorsy state, and it is, but if you live in Denver, you still have to drive a long way to get to the mountains. So in Connecticut, we really have the outdoors right here literally in our backyard. And so we've been working really hard to, that's what makes Connecticut special, is our outdoor recreation resources are so accessible. And so we've been trying really hard to make them more accessible so that more folks here in Connecticut can enjoy them. So I'm going to drop some links in the chat. The first one is just our brand new parks website. And so it's only great to have 142 state parks if you can actually figure out where to go and how to use them. So this website, and I'm going to share my screen for a second. Let's do that. Excellent. So this website has park finder tools. So if you're interested in, say, swimming, you can pull this up. And let's go here to swimming on the left. And say you want to go swimming at the beach, and put the beach there and show my results. And then these are all the places where you can go swimming at the beach, whether that's a freshwater beach or a beach on Long Island Sound. And so if you're interested in doing something outdoors, whether it's hiking, biking, swimming, fishing, whatever, this is a really easy way to say what's available in Connecticut, what's near me, and then you can plan your day accordingly. So check out our brand new state parks, c2parks.com. There's this really cool park finder tool, and that's a great way to start. Let me stop sharing my screen here to figure out how to do. There we go. Okay. I want to just give you a quick demonstration there because that's really important. It's only important. The parks are only great if you can get to them. And so this tool is really designed to help you plan out your summer trips. Another very cool thing about Connecticut State Parks is that we are the only state in the Northeast that does not charge entrance fees to our in-state visitors. So let me explain that a little bit more. We have a program called Passport to Parks. Passport to Parks program provides a funding source for our that allows us to operate our entire 42 state parks and forest. And when you register your vehicle in Connecticut, you pay a fee. It's $8 a year, and that allows you to any car with a Connecticut license plate. So your car is one of those great blue Connecticut license plates you can get into any state park without paying an entrance fee. And that's a pretty good deal when you think about if you're a non-resident, if you want to go to Hannahasset State Park, for instance, for a day, you're going to spend $22 just for a single day. And so $8 a year is a pretty good deal. As to go to any state park at any time without paying an entrance fee. So that's automatically charged when you register your car. So if you have a Connecticut registered vehicle, you get into any state park for free, and we're the only state in the Northeast that does that for our residents. So really cool program, very affordable, obviously, and one of the really cool, just great benefits of being living in Connecticut. So I'll start there with our parks, and I'd like to dive in a little deeper and talk about some of the programming that we offer in our parks. So one of the cool programs that we do specifically targeted to families is the Sky's the Limit hiking challenge. And so this is a challenge that we do every year, and we put together a series of 15 different hikes with a theme. And we have within each hike, we have different adventure levels. So if you're hiking with kids or you want to go do a longer hike, you can choose what one works out best for you. And this year's theme is state forests. And again, I'm going to drop the link right in the chat so you can just access it. Here. All right, you can check that link out if you're following along. And this really allows you to choose your own adventure. But if you're wondering, like, hey, I like to hike with my family, but I don't really know where to go, this is a great way to explore new parks, new trails throughout the year, and just kind of takes some of the planning out. You can go to this list and choose to do whichever ones you like. All right, so that's another one. Another program that we have is the No Child Left Inside program. And this is a program that we actually started here in Connecticut. It's been replicated throughout the country. And I'm dropping the link there in the chat so you can follow along here. One of those people who like me, who likes to go and dig in and find some of your own information. But we offer over 25 programs throughout our state parks that are specifically targeted at families. So for instance, to zoom in on the next one, Saturday, on the 29th, we're offering a program, a boating day program, which is really cool. You can go, it's at, so let's see, do a bunch of them. This one's at Lake Warramog State Park in Kent, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. So you can join us this Saturday from 12 p.m. starting at noon through 5 at Lake Warramog State Park, and you can go. We'll have our water safety and boating education instructors there. We'll have canoes, kayaks, paddleboards, and a safety gear as well. So you can rent, not even rent, you can just we'll loan out the gear. And these are free programs for you and your families. kids are welcome. We do require parents or guardians to be there with their kids. But this is a chance for you to go out and try something out without having to go buy a canoe, buy a kayak, buy a raft to go in your car. All the logistics involved, we take care of those for you. We take care of the safety instruction. We have the safety gear there, and it'll give you a chance to get out and do that. And then that's just one example of the 25 different programs. So we have fishing programs, hiking, different hikes or fun activities, with camping. So check out that website. Lots of opportunities there for you, especially targeted towards families. All right, a few other things. Let's see here. Following along in the notes, don't want to miss anything. So one of my favorite things to do in the park is, and I think one of the things that I wanted to present to this group, because sometimes when you think about outdoors and parks, it can be overwhelming. If you think about all the gear you have to buy, all the things you have to do. And the reality is the easiest and best way to get outside is to simply go have a picnic. There's nothing more fun than a picnic. And we have just so many different opportunities, great places to go, pack a lunch, pack a dinner. We have a lot of our parks have preset grills, so you can just bring charcoal, dump charcoal in the grill, and have yourself a nice barbecue right there in the park next to the Wild Sound or next to a lake, river, stream, etc. So, while playing outside, or sometimes the media portrays outdoor sports as being very intense and very gear intensive and having a lot of knowledge. But really, the best way and the most fun way to do that is simply just go have a picnic, and that's how kind of go back to my personal anecdote that I started with. You know, as a large family growing up, that was something that we literally did every single day, all summer long. Was we had a couple of locations that were within a couple miles of our house that had picnic areas and swimming areas and local lakes and ponds, and we just go bring a lunch and spend the afternoon at the lake almost every single day. We have a lot of those opportunities here in Connecticut as well. So just that's a great way to get started, get outdoors without feeling like you have to invest in a ton of gear or have a high level of knowledge or skill set. So I want to move. We actually offer some programming beyond just our state parks as well. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So at DEEP, we have our Connecticut State Parks, our boating division, which I've talked about with the paddling day, and our environmental conservation police, so we focus on safety throughout our state parks, of course. But then on the natural resources side, we have our wildlife, our forestry team, and then our fisheries team. And our fisheries team does a lot to focus on fishing and to get kids outside fishing. So we have a program called CARE, which stands for the Connecticut Aquatic Resource Education Program. And everyone loves a good acronym. And we offer programs all throughout the summer that are great. And again, we provide all the fishing gear that you need to buy a fishing license, but those are relatively inexpensive and a great opportunity to get out and take your kids fishing. We have all the gear, everything you need to do, all you need to show up. We can help you buy a fishing license on your phone if you're if you do that when you get there. So really exciting opportunities again. I'm just gonna drop a link. So I'll show you. Let me share my screen. Thank you for your patience with me. So I just wanted to share a little story map of some of the this is our CARE program again. This is just some photos, and scroll down through. You see here, these are some of our CARE instructors. They like to fish themselves, and they really love to pass that on to a bunch of different folks, both kids and adults all across Connecticut. We actually have a center on Forster Pond where we bring school groups in and teach them how to fish. We see some of those programs here. And then here's, of course, all the photos, some really fun photos of kids with really big fish, which is just always fun to see. You can see those smiles, like everyone that goes to these programs has a great time. And we even do them in the winter. We do ice fishing programs. And so we have these things happening literally every week, all throughout the summer. So go online, check out these programs, and see where we have different accessibility options across the state as well. And I'll stop sharing here. But let me drop that link in the chat as well. That's a fun one for me. Again, I'll go back to my personal experience. That's something that my family used to do on a regular basis. Fishing, and it's also a great opportunity to learn as a child, learn a lot about how food gets to your plate. So much of our life in the U.S. is just going to the grocery store, and we don't oftentimes understand how the food ends up in the grocery store. So as a kid, fishing is a great educational opportunity as well to learn about the food chain and how fish ends up, or how food ends up on our plate, in this case, fish. So a good opportunity there for many of you to check out and explore as well. So really, as you can see here, we try to work very hard to create introductory opportunities to the outdoors for everyone here in Connecticut. One of the nice things about the CARE program is that we offer fishing programs all across the state, not just in our state parks. So we offer them in municipal parks across the state as well. So really, the chances of finding a CARE program in your town are pretty high, or very close to your town. So check out those fishing programs. Those are really cool as well. So, all right, I'll give you a couple. We have one actually coming up in Norwich on Sunday at Mohegan Pond, and then July 1st, Toby's Pond, Beacon Falls, and then July 2nd, we're at Brook State Park in Wallingford. So you can see we just have almost events literally happening almost every day. So lots of opportunities there for you to check out. All right, let's talk about a couple other opportunities that are really fun. So at Hammonasset Beach State Park, which is one of our largest parks, is in Madison. It's 2 miles of beautiful sandy shoreline, relatively calm waters compared to some other places with big waves. Long Island Sound doesn't have a lot of big waves. And it's a really great place to bring kids, great swimming opportunity. That's one of the parks where we have lifeguards. So it's an extra resource there from a safety perspective. And we have a nature center at Hammonasset called Meg's Point Nature Center. And it's right at the very end of the park. And this is what's programming there. It's open every day throughout the summer. And we have a touch tank in there. It's free to get in. And we offer all types of different programs, educational chats and talks. And throughout the summer, they're primarily geared towards children. So, and that's a great resource. So check out the Meg's Point Nature Center. Really cool. And then there's 3 other museums / centers that we do charge for. I believe, and I could be wrong here, but I think that the cost for a child is $3. So they're relatively inexpensive. Dinosaur State Park has a museum, so the state park itself is free to go to, but the museum we do charge entrance fee for. Really popular. It's right here near Hartford, and you get to walk through the walkway and check out some really cool dinosaur tracks. Very popular with kids and families. A couple others are Fort Trumbull down in New London. Cool opportunity to walk around a fort next to the water, and we also have a museum there as well. And then finally, Gillette Castle State Park. Again, the state park is free to go to, but you can get a tour of the castle itself, which is really cool. If your kids into any type of fantasy or those types of castles and those types of stories, so like castles and cool. But I definitely recommend those 3: Dinosaur State Park, the one Castle State Park, and Fort Trumbull State Park. If you're looking for some that or museum type program. All right, let's see. I was on the call earlier. I was glad to see there's a librarian on the call. We teamed up with the Connecticut State Library Division of Library Development to create story blocks at 4 state parks, and that's basically, think of it as a children's storybook piece throughout the park, so you kind of read the book as you go and walk. It's really cool. There's 4 of them at Dinosaur State Park, our Goodwin Conservation Center, Osbornedale State Park. So check out those if you're interested in some additional fun programming that you're doing. Going back to that, going back to the theme of connectivity and accessibility, Camanassa Beach State Park in Madison, Silver Sand State Park in Milford, and Sleeping Giant State Park all have service through Park Connect program, which connects buses to our state parks. So you have some other ways to get to parks. If you are able to have a connection to a bus, you should be able to get to one of those 3 parks. Obviously, you can bus, you want to be relatively close. Sometimes it's a little harder to go across the state. But if you're anywhere near Madison, Camden, which is where Sleeping Giant State Park is, you can take the bus into the park, and also Milford, which is where you can get to Silver Sand State Park. So some other ways to get to the parks other than just driving. So I have talked a lot. As you can tell, we have a lot of programs, and we love to have people visit our parks. We had 17 million visitors last year. And to kind of wrap back up some of the themes that so many of you all who have much more experience with youth development than I do have talked about before, about the themes of mental health. As just to talk a little bit about the numbers in COVID. So before COVID, we had right around 11 million people visiting our state parks. After COVID, that number grew to 17. So not quite double, but almost. So we had a 75% increase. And I think what we saw was people were under a lot of stress, still are. And the parks were a place to not only relax, but also to connect with other people as well. And so I'm a firm believer in the fact that the outdoors can be a big boost to your mental health. I know it definitely is for me, and I know for many others as well. So please, we're coming up on July 4th weekend. So many opportunities to get outside. We hope you join us in a state park, campground, sometime soon. See you out there. Thank you again, Lorna, Commissioner Bai, for inviting us to share some of these opportunities, and we hope to see you outside soon. Appreciate it.
My, oh my, well, we thank you. We appreciate you, Deputy Commissioner Mason Trumbull with the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. You have shared a wealth of information. I've learned so much and am so impressed with all that is provided right here within our own state. And thank you so much again also for projecting your screen rather for us to see how to use the resources and identify where things may be happening and what may appeal to our interests. So Deputy Commissioner Trumbull, thank you so very much for all that you have shared, and want to thank all of the participants of our webinar. Thank you so very much for being a part of this experience. Diana, thank you so much for opening us up by giving interpretive instructions, and certainly thank you to our interpreters, Maria and Evelyn. We, of course, thank our Deputy Commissioner, Elena Trueworthy, for the wonderful welcome remarks, as well as Commissioner Andrea Barton-Reeves for her welcome remarks. And we certainly must recognize our wonderful keynote speaker, Judy Casperson. Thank you so much for sharing with us the creative ways to have fun with children on a budget, and doing so helping to create wonderful memories, and you practicing what is preached. Thank you so much, Judy. Thank you, Michelle Levy, for highlighting the Little Wonders video and helping to be a part of that experience. And of course, we must thank our wonderful panelists. Thank you, Lena, Cheryl, Liliana, and Liz, for sharing wonderful words of wisdom with us, creative ways of play and engaging with our young children, and remembering and reminding us of ensuring that we are checking in with ourselves and having our own outlets in doing so. Thank you to our wonderful panelists. And of course, we want to thank the messages from the youth. We heard from the children, their ideas of ways to have fun. Thank you so much for the children that shared their thoughts with us. And certainly, of course, want to thank you once again, Deputy Commissioner Trumbull, for sharing your wonderful words of wisdom and resources as well. So much to do right here in our own home state. And of course, want to thank our teammates that are behind the scenes that help us make this possible. Thank you so much to our O'Donnell teammates. Thank you to Bridget for helping us out. And of course, Eloisa, thank you for helping us out with all Zoom matters. But last but not least, want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. We know the realities of living life. We know the realities of raising and supporting children. And we know that at times it can be costly, but we want to take this time to be mindful of ways where it does not cost, where it really is quality over quantity. And as has once been said, you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. So as we continue on in the summer season, keep playing, keep having fun, and have an enjoyable experience, all of those that are young and young at heart. Thank you all so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you the next time. Take care, be well.